everybody. Here we are going to break down, go through all of the plays on today's slate, who I like, who I like, and all that. Like comments real quick, a little bit more. Although I'm pretty sure most of you are already subscribers, but that's cool if you're not subscribed. And ask any questions you have on salary. Now look, he's probably going to be the talkiest driver. I'd assume. Kevin Harvick, when you talk about Atlanta, Kevin Harvick the ways I'm playing him. Now I would say that I'm a little bit worried about Kevin Harvick because that car has just not looked that fast. Literally any race. Not the only race yeah, I'm interested in Harvick because, what he can do at the track, but I would be a little bit cautious on definitely leverage getting away from him. Is not going to be owned today, which kind of surprised me. I haven't seen really anybody talking about him. His ownership is going to be a lot lower. He's not going to that salary. Salary really well, and if you feel like Harvick and Larson are us, it's kind of looks like a really good play here. So I am going to be interested in him. My favorite player. Hold on one second. Okay. Oops. Kyle Larson needs to lead laps, pay off that salary. He's $10,400. He starts 6th. I really like Kyle Larson here. He's just been really fast all year. Literally every race he's been fast. Even last week at Phoenix he was fast, and he was kind of having to come up through the field the entire race, but he was still really, really fast on that race, on that track. So I do like him. I mean, this is a track where he succeeded at in the 42 car in the past. We've seen him lead laps this race. We've seen him, I think, finish like runner-up in this race before. So that's going to make it kind of interesting. I do really like Kyle Larson. I think he has potential. I think he wins this race, to be honest. This is definitely my pick to win today. So I do really like Kyle Larson. He is definitely one of my favorite plays on the slate. Brad Keselowski starts 4th, $10,200. He also needs to lead laps in this race to pay off that salary. I'm going to really like that. He's been fast as well this year. It's hard to really gauge on who really is going to be like the true dominators in this race because all these guys have actually been like legitimately fast all year long. So that does definitely scare me. Make me think that who knows who's really going to lead laps? Who knows who's really going to dominate this race or anything? So I do like Keselowski. Chase Elliott was really good here a year ago. My mouse would work. Oh, there it goes. Stupid laptop. I skipped over Denny Hamlin. All right, we'll talk about Denny Hamlin on the pole. I'm fading Hamlin. I'm going to continue to just fade pole sitters this year. I just don't think that's the ideal strategy for DFS NASCAR this year. I mean, we haven't seen, especially if they're going to be popular, and I think Denny Hamlin will get a pretty good amount of ownership. I don't think he'll be the most owned dominator. I think Larson and Harvick will probably be the 2 most owned dominators, but Hamlin's still going to get ownership. He hasn't really been fantastic at Atlanta or anything. When we go look last year, he led 0 laps and he only had 9 fast laps, so that's not really anything to really make me that interested in him. I think he's fine if you want to go there, but still at the same time, probably not going to be someone I want to get a huge ton of. I mean, he's fine, but I'm not playing him in tournaments. I'm fading Hamlin. That's the one main fade I think I have at the top today is Hamlin. And we'll see about Harvick. We'll see how bold I get before lineups lock. I haven't built my lineups yet today, so when we'll see what happens with Kevin Harvick there. Chase Elliott, $9,800. I really like Chase. Last year he led 26 laps at 10 fast laps. He was really good at the intermediates when it came to laps led as well last year, 470, 338. And contrary to popular belief, Chase Elliott's actually had a pretty decent car this year. Now it hasn't been top tier, but and it hasn't been what Larson's had. But Chase Elliott still, I still want to play him. 4th best average position at Atlanta a year ago, 2nd at intermediate, and 4th at cookie cutters. He's going to need to lead laps, pay off that salary. But I could definitely see that happening. So I'm definitely going to be very interested in Chase Elliott. Martin Truex Jr. is $9,600. He starts 2nd. He also needs to just lead some laps to pay off that salary. He did really well in the Xfinity Series race yesterday. Led a bunch of laps, finished 2nd. We've seen him do well at this track before. Third best average finish at Atlanta, third at intermediate, second at cookie cutters, and third at large ovals. A year ago, he led 65 laps in this race, had 537 laps led at intermediates a year ago as well, 220 cookie cutters, and 324 at large ovals. Really like him here. I'm going to want to play a lot of Truex. That's definitely one of my favorite Dominator plays. Joey Logano is starting third. He also is going to need to lead laps. Like all these guys need to lead laps, pay off their salary. When you look at the tracks for him, only 10 laps led at Atlanta a year ago, but 293 at intermediate, 100 at cookie cutters, and 192 at large ovals. If there was one guy in this main group here, like in this 9K group of just, dominators, the guy I probably have the least confidence in is Joey Logano, but, I still really like him. He's, a really good driver, has a lot of upside. So I'm still interested there, but at the same time, I would call him, I would be a little bit less interested in him versus someone like Truex, Elliott, Hamlin, Keselowski, those guys. So even Ryan Blaney, I like Blaney a lot, starting 10th. He actually only needs a top 4 to pay off the salary. So I like that. He doesn't even need to lead laps to pay it off. Obviously, probably you're going to need him to lead laps to win you a tournament, though. He has the 4th best average finish at Atlanta a year ago, 8th at intermediates, 1st at cookie cutters, and 5th at large ovals. When it came to intermediates, he led 387 laps last year, 174 at cookie cutters, which is the 4th most in the field, and 292 at large ovals, which is the 4th most in the field as well. So an underrated driver here, I believe, starting 10th, could lead you some laps, doesn't even need to lead you any to get you to pay off that salary, but if you want to win a tournament, obviously you're going to need him to lead some laps. But I do like Ryan Blaney. I think he's a sneaky play today. I don't think he'll get a ton of ownership. William Byron, I'm going to love going back here. I mean, look, this is kind of the same thing with the Hendrick cars. To start out this year, William Byron has just, been fast. All of them have been. But Bowman, Byron, Larson have been lightning fast. We saw Byron obviously win at Miami. We saw him be fast at Vegas as well. Atlanta's a similar track to those two, so I'm going to really like William Byron here. Only needs a top 4 to pay off that salary, kind of the same thing as Ryan Blaney, but I can see him leading laps and getting some fast laps, and I'm going to be very interested there. Honestly, the same idea of Alex Bowman. We haven't really seen him lead laps this year, but we've seen him get a ton of fast laps. He starts 14th, needs a top 7 to pay off that salary. I could totally see him getting fast laps throughout the race, so I'm going to really like that. Alex Bowman definitely be someone I want to focus on. All right, we got to talk about Austin Cindric. I'm off Austin Cindric. I'm kind of really interested to see where the public's going to be on him, but I am not going to be playing Austin Cindric today. This is just not a play that this is his first Cup Series race in a non-restrictor plate track, so a non-Daytona. We have him in Atlanta here. This is a normal oval, and it's just we've seen rookies over the last few years just struggle, to start out seasons in this new package. Honestly, the only rookie who in the last 2 years who started out well in this package, just came out hot, was Tyler Reddick, but Briscoe's been awful this year. It took Christopher Bell a while to get it. So Cole Custer was bad last year. These guys that struggle in this new package is completely different from an Xfinity Series car, these Cup cars. So Cindric needs a top 19 to pay off that salary, but I don't think he does it. I'm not going to play him. This is not going to be someone I'm really interested in at all, to be honest. So I'm not going to go there. I get the place differential play, but I don't think he pays it off. I really don't. I think he finishes somewhere between 22nd and 30th. I don't think he has a great race. If there's a lot of wrecks, then yeah, he can get up there, but still at the same time, I don't think that is going to happen. So I'm not going to be too interested here in Austin Cindric. Tyler Reddick's $8,400. He starts 29th. Reddick, to pay off his salary, is going to need a top 15. I like Reddick here. 13th best average finish at Atlanta, 15th at intermediates, 10th at cookie cutters, 15th at large ovals. Was running well in all those. Only when he has a below top 15 average at average position is intermediates with 16th. I think he should be able to pay off that salary. Like him for cash, like him for tournaments. That's going to be someone I want to get a good bit of exposure to. Kurt Busch is $8,300. He needs a top 6 to pay off that salary, starting 11th. Atlanta has been one of his best tracks over his whole career. I believe this is the track he has the most wins at. I know he's got 3 or 4 over his career. Kurt Busch's been around a while, but even last year, 6th best average finish at Atlanta, 6th at intermediates, 4th at cookie cutters, and 4th at large ovals. It's just a really consistent driver. He's had speed to start this year. So I do like Kurt Busch. I think he could get that top 6 and pay off that salary. Matthew Benedetto is $8,100. He starts 20th. He needs a top 11 to pay off that salary. I think that's interesting. Wasn't great at Atlanta a year ago, but an intermediate's 10th best average finish, 15th at cookie cutters, and 12th at large ovals. But he did have the 11th best average position in Atlanta, just obviously gone to some bad luck there. I think he could get you that top 11, but I kind of feel like that's his ceiling. I guess Benedetto has a higher ceiling. That car is pretty good, so I'm going to be interested in him. I'll have some ownership, some exposure to him, but wouldn't call him like a core guy or anything for today. Next up is going to be Eric Almirola. I'm not going to play Eric Almirola today. He needs a top 10 to pay off that salary, and he just hasn't had top 10 speed yet this year, so I'm going to fade him. Christopher Bell needs a top 6. Just starts too high. I don't really see a top 6 here from Christopher Bell, so I'm probably not going to go there. Bubba Wallace, Cole Custer, he needs a top 15. I think Cole Custer is interesting. He is a little bit expensive. You're paying there for him, and this car hasn't been great, but maybe they get the setup a little bit better here today. I mean, this team historically has been really good at Atlanta and the cookie cutters in general. And just going back to a year ago, like, this is just a tractor good. I mean, I have those stats as well. I don't really ever talk about them, but 13th best average finish at Atlanta, 11th at intermediates, 13th at cookie cutters, and 11th at large ovals. That's team-wise. That's like Stewart-Haas Racing. So hopefully they can bounce back. I like Cole Custer here as a tournament play only. Probably want to go there and cash though. Bubba Wallace, $7,400. He needs a top 10 to pay off that salary. And look, I know Bubba's kind of been terrible this year, but he was good last week at Phoenix. That was what I need to see from him. I know those are kind of the tracks he's better at. Atlanta may not be the type of track we see him do fantastic at or anything, but that car's fast, and no one's going to continue to play him. No one's going to continue to play Bubba, so I'm going to keep being on him because I know that 2311 car is probably a top 10 car in NASCAR. So I like Bubba Wallace here. I'm going to play him in tournaments. Don't go there for cash, but I like him for tournaments. And then I love Austin Dillon. He only needs a top 10 to pay off that salary. He is $7,300. He starts 13th. This is just a spot that he should succeed here. Really good at these type of tracks. 10th best average finish at Atlanta a year ago. 11th at intermediates, 9th at large ovals, and 12th at cookie cutters. That's going to look really good for me. That's going to be something I really want to target. Ryan Newman, going to continue to be off of him. He needs a top 17 to pay off that salary. I don't see it. I know he had a good run at Miami, but that was really it this year, so I'm going to continue to fade that. Eric Jones, he needs a top 15 to pay off that salary. I don't see him getting that either, unless there's a late race caution. That's really the only way I see Eric Jones paying off. That Richard Petty Motorsports car is not a top 15 car at all. So unless there's a bunch of wrecks or unless there's a late caution, that's the only way I can see Eric Jones paying off that salary. Chase Briscoe needs a top 17. Going to continue to stay away from him just because, I mean, he's just has looked bad. He just hasn't been good this year. The car has been there and he hasn't been there, so I don't see him getting a top 17 today. Ross Chastain needs a top 15. I'm off that. I don't see that happening. Daniel Suarez needs a top 17. Look, I've been on Suarez all year long, but now he's a little bit too expensive, so I'm not going to be too excited for Suarez here. I think he was interesting earlier on in the season, but now, just their Draftkings started to understand he's actually in a good car this year, so they've priced him up a little bit more, so not going to go there. However, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I'm going to like going back to him. Look, knock on wood, Stenhouse, he still hasn't wrecked out yet this year. I'm telling you, Ricky Stenhouse is a bad nickname, but no one ever wants to say that, and watch, he'll wreck today now when I'm talking about him, but he starts 12th. He only needs a top 11 to pay off that salary. I know his numbers aren't going to look great, but this year he has been fast. He has had a top, 8 to 15 car every single week. I'm going to continue going there. The JTG Dorsey cars are looking really, really good. So I'm going to like going to Ricky Stenhouse here. I think he's a good value. Michael McDowell needs a top 15. I'd prefer to play Stenhouse, but I think McDowell's fine. If you want to go there, he needs to move up 3 spots. He can get that, but I feel like it's less likely than Stenhouse or even Chris Buescher hitting. I really like Chris Buescher. Only needs a top 15 to pay off that salary starting 17th. He could definitely move up into that top 15, and he could be a good value. And Ryan Preece is the last value guy I am going to like starting 23rd. The JTG Dorsey teammate of Ricky Stenhouse. He needs a top 18 to pay off that salary. Now, I know that's not as likely, but again, these cars have been fast this year, and even he has been fast. We've seen him get a few top 20s so far this year. So that's really all I got to go down on my review of the drivers. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to let me know in the chat. I will answer them for you. That is what I am here for. So yeah, go ahead. Ask some questions. I will be glad to answer them for you. And I'm going to go look up who my guy Bob picked to win today, because that seems to be like what we go through every single race. This is a weird race though today. I will say that. I mean, this is it's gonna be there's no like clear favorite in my opinion to dominate. Like if Kevin Harvick had been fast this year, yeah, it'd be him. But he hasn't been fast this year, so I mean, I think for me it's Larson, but like okay, like I don't think he's that much more likely to lead laps here than anyone else. Let's see, Bob. See, those races yesterday are interesting. I actually didn't even watch the truck race. Honestly, I have to go back and like rewatch some stuff from that. I have no clue what happened in that race, but the Xfinity race was a good race. It was cool seeing Allgaier beat Truex, and then the whole Gregson Hemrick thing was wild. I think the Kyle Busch is interesting too today because he did race a truck race yesterday, so he's ran this. I mean, I know it's a lot different, but at the same time, he has gotten laps on here. We know Busch is a lot better with practice, so. He picked Hamlin to win, Truex second, Larson third, Harvick fourth, Kyle Busch fourth, long shot Kurt Busch. Is Kurt Busch really a long shot? Like, he's really good here. I don't think that should be a long shot. All right, guys, go ahead and ask some questions, because if I don't get any, I'm probably going to head out. I'm going to go watch some March Madness, go watch hopefully Illinois win today. It'll be fun. It's stupid that they got to play Loyola Chicago in the second round. That team should be like a 6 seed, but whatever. It's cool, though. It's cool, though. Any questions? Any questions for anybody? Alright, I'm going to give you guys like 2 more minutes. If I don't get anything, I'm heading out. I'm going to call it a day. Of course, you can always follow me on Twitter. I'll answer questions over there for sure, as I always do, but... Alright, guys, I'm going to head out. I know that this is being streamed at the same time as another big channel, so that's why I don't have a lot of viewers, but it's cool. I could not do it when I normally do it today, so have a great rest of your day. Good luck today. Make some money.